Hi, everyone. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Cohen, and I'm going to be your instructor for this half semester course, COMM 105, which is now called Fundamentals of Mass Media or Media Communication. I can't remember, to be honest with you. The course has changed titles over the years, but I've been teaching it for a really long time, and I have been teaching it mostly the same. So it's the same class to me, and I'm just going to refer to it as COMM 105. So I don't have to worry about that. But we will very soon talk about like what the difference is between media and mass communication and all that stuff. And I don't know. You can come up with your own opinion. This is supposed to be an introduction video that will hopefully give you um, kind of just an overview of how the course is going to work. And it'll also give you a lot of the information that you need in order to take the syllabus quiz, which is going to be one of the things you need to do during the first week. It's possible you don't even need to watch this. But just in case, I think it's good to have a kind of supplement where you can see the syllabus, which let me go ahead and share my screen so we can look at it together that way. And you can just hear me talk about it a little bit to highlight the things that I think are the most important. Okay, the first part of it I think is pretty self-explanatory. This is how you contact me. Email is I'm actually pretty good about email. Sometimes I don't check it every day on the weekend, but I do check my email pretty regularly, so that's the best way to reach out. As far as office hours, you're actually in kind of a if you are on campus, this is rare. I actually work from home a lot, but this is my on-campus office and I do come here and I'm happy to meet with you in person. But because this is an online class, I'm kind of assuming that a lot of you will not be on campus that much. And so I'm happy to make Zoom office hours too. I have my link to my Zoom office, but it's not like I just sit around and wait for people to come. Just email me and we can set up an appointment if you need to talk. I'll let you read the description for the class yourself. I'm going to jump down here to just talk about the book for this class. I really like the book for this class. Actually, both of these professors, these first two people who are mentioned here, the authors, they used to be professors at WVU. So when they were writing this book, it was just when I was starting to teach it, and I feel like I have kind of a connection with the content in that book for that reason. But that said, I consider the book to be optional, and what I mean by that is you don't need any information in the book that I won't have in some summary lectures that I'm going to be posting online. So the book is really helpful if you want some maybe more examples or elaboration on some of the things I'm talking about, or if you don't want to listen to the lectures at all, watch them. There are PowerPoint slides and stuff too. Then get the book. But if you think that maybe you're not a big reader and you prefer to just watch YouTube videos, I think you're probably okay not getting the book. But if you do decide to get it, just know that you can get it as a hard copy or you can get an ebook version on the publisher's website. So whatever works for you. This is just basically telling you about how this is an online class, so it works like an online class, nothing big. But I think the things that you're going to be most interested in is how the grade is going to be broken down. So I'm just going to go right here so you can see it. So as I mentioned, the first assignment you need to do is a syllabus quiz. This is on eCampus. Sorry, tea break. I love breaking for my tea. Um, And what you need to do is essentially go on eCampus, and there are multiple choice and true false questions about literally what I'm talking about right now. Like, oh, how many content quizzes are going to be offered during the semester? Like things like that. So once you're done with this video, that's the first thing you're going to do, and that's also the first component of your grade. Besides that, your grade is made up of two other types of assignment. One is content quizzes, which is the same idea. You go on eCampus, you click on these quizzes. There's different types of questions, multiple choice, true, false, some fill in the blank, that kind of stuff. And you're gonna excuse me, bless me. You're going to want to do these quizzes after you watch all of the little content summary lectures that I have posted, or read your book, or do whatever. And then after every unit, which I'll try to explain at the end, after you've done a couple quizzes, you'll have gotten through a unit, and there are these discussion board reflections that you're going to need to post. There's going to be different prompts for these discussions. So, excuse me so much. Sorry about all the sneezing. So, for instance, like um, after one unit, when we do our news unit, I might ask you to find an example of clickbait and, write about that and apply different concepts from what we've been talking about. Sometimes you'll have multiple prompts. So there'll be like three different prompts and you just need to pick one. But the important thing that I want you to know about both of these types of assignments. So if you look at it, the content quizzes are kind of the things that you need to do every week. There's always at least one content quiz assigned a week. Sometimes there's more than one. You just kind of have to look at the course schedule, which is at the very end here, and I'll come back to this. But um, and then um, and you need to complete at least 10 of these throughout the entire semester, but there are 12 opportunities to do it. So let's say that you miss a quiz, it's not necessarily going to count against your grade because I'll end up dropping um, any grades over 10 quizzes that you have. So I'll drop your lowest quiz grade. If you do 12, ew, I'm so sorry about the sneezing. If you end up doing 12 quizzes, I'm going to drop two quiz grades that you have. So it doesn't necessarily count against you. That also means that if you complete the first 10 quizzes and you don't want to do the last two, that's completely fine. Um, Similarly, these discussion board reflections, notice that there are going to be five opportunities for you to respond to one of the prompts. And there's actually more prompts than five. It just kind of depends on the week, but the point is you only need to submit three of these across the whole semester in order to get all of the potential points that you need. Okay? So again, there's a little bit of leeway. It doesn't mean that every time you see a discussion board post, you have to do it. What I would do if I were you is I would just do the first three. And, if you like your grades on those, then you don't have to do more. But if you don't like your grades, then you can try to do another one. And like I said with the quizzes, I'll just drop your lowest one. Um, so that said, you can read about the individual assignments up here. There's also more information on eCampus if you want to like check that out. Um, Now let's go. I think let's all of this stuff is various policies, I support mental health and social justice. Don't use AI. Uh, those types of things. You can check all that out for yourself. But again, I'm more interested in the structure of the course right now. So now I just want to look at kind of how the schedule rolls so you can kind of get an idea. So you can see right here, this first week, you have two things that are due. All of our assignments are going to be due on Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So like midnight, whatever, if you want to round. So before, so within 7 days, within the first week, you need to complete the syllabus quiz. And then you also need to do chapter one or content quiz one. There is also going to be a summary lecture posted, and it's just like this. Like you'll see my head like up in the corner. I actually made these like in the past and in the summertime. So I might, be wearing clothes that look more summery, maybe some sunglasses. Sometimes I sit on my porch and they're usually about like 20 minutes and I just go over all the content. And then when you're done with that, or while you're watching, you can complete this content quiz one. Okay. So that's what you got to do the first week. The second week, because it was spring break, I didn't assign anything. But all of this content is available. So if you want, you can go ahead and get ahead and you can do all of the work for March 23rd through 29th. Here, you just, again, basically you need to just make sure that anything in this box over here in this column is completed by, the deadline listed here. But I have everything, all of the content for this class is already posted. You are completely, it's completely fine if you want to go ahead and work ahead. I don't know if you're super ambitious. Maybe you want to try to complete this class in 2 weeks. In theory, you can do that. The only caveat with that is you might have to wait for me to grade things. So for instance, your first reflection post, if you decide to do that one, it's going to be due on March 29th, which is when the other stuff from this unit is due. So maybe you complete that and maybe, I don't know, you go ahead and you complete the second one too. I might not grade this until after its deadline, but you're free to go ahead and submit it if you want. Just be patient with me on getting the grades. Part of the reason that I like to do that is because um, I don't compare. what everybody's writing, but let's say that sometimes I'll get done grading, and by the time I'm done grading, I'll be like, oh, shoot, I was too harsh in how I was grading. And then I like go back and I give people some more points or something like that. So for that reason, I like to grade everything all at once, and I'm probably not going to grade any of your work early, even if you submit it early. But you're welcome to do whatever you want to do. And again, just to clarify, you can see you've got module one, unit one, whatever you want to call it, two, three, and there's a reflection post that you can do after every single, all five of these modules. But once again, you only have to do three. So if you do reflection one, two, and three, you don't have to do these last five. But at the same time, let's say you do reflection one and then you skip two, then you could do three and four and you could get all the points you need. So I hope that's pretty clear. That's really all. I mean, if you get that down, you'll be on a roll. I think you just need to maybe set aside some time each week that you can dedicate to this class and just come back every week and make sure you're checking off all of these readings and assignments, and you're golden. So anyway, I'm looking forward. We you'll get to know me maybe a little bit better than I'll get to know you because you'll get to see my face. And that's one of the things I hate about online teaching, but I really do appreciate. I've taught this class online a few times, and the reflection, I really enjoy these reflection posts. I get to know a lot about you, but please also don't be a stranger if you want to reach out and introduce yourself or just be in communication about anything that's going on. It's kind of up to you to open the lines of communication, but I am here, I am ready and waiting, and I'm really excited to have you here. So hopefully we'll have a really good second part of the spring semester. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Let me know if you need anything. Bye.